We are taught that respect is something you earn through your words, your titles, or the loud display of your achievements. But what if the most respected person in the room is the one who says nothing at all? Why does silence sometimes carry more weight than 1,000 arguments? Is your constant need to explain yourself a sign of strength? Or is it a quiet admission that you don't believe you exist unless others acknowledge you? Most people spend their lives begging for a seat at the table, unaware that true authority belongs to the one who is prepared to walk away from it entirely. Today we aren't learning how to speak, we are learning how to be. We are going to explore the psychology of the unspoken weight and why the ultimate form of respect is reserved for those who have already made peace with their own disappearance. The gravitational self. The anatomy of silent authority. Observe the energy in a crowded room. You will notice a frantic rhythm, a sea of people leaning forward, nodding too quickly, laughing too loudly, and rushing to fill every gap in the conversation. It is a symphony of anxious noise. In the center of this chaos, there is often one person who does not lean. They do not rush. They inhabit the silence as if it were a comfortable throne. Why does your gaze instinctively settle on them? Why does their stillness feel more powerful than the most eloquent speech? We are conditioned to believe that respect is a trophy won through active conquest. We think we must earn it by demonstrating our intelligence, our humor, or our utility. But this is the great deception of the ego. The ego is terrified of being invisible. It feels a desperate, primal affirmation its existence at every moment. To the ego, silence is a vacuum that threatens to swallow its identity. It talks, it explains, it defends, but have you ever noticed that the more a person explains themselves, the less you believe them? This is the anatomy of the gravitational self. True authority is not loud, it is heavy. It is what we might call high to stillness. When you resist the urge to fill the silence, you are communicating something profound to the nervous systems of everyone around you. You are signaling that you are not hungry for their approval. You are signaling that your internal world is so stable, so well defined, that it does not require the external validation of a nod or a smile to remain intact. You have become a center of gravity, and gravity does not ask for permission to pull objects toward it. It simply is. Consider the science of the non-reactive core. Our ancestors survived by reading the micro-gestures of the tribe. A leader who panics, who fidgets, or who reacts instantly to every provocation is a leader who signals danger. But the one who remains still, the one who can absorb an insult or a challenge without a flicker of the eye, communicates a terrifying level of safety and competence. This is the secret of the unspoken boundary. Respect isn't gained by winning an interaction. It is gained by being the only person in the room who isn't playing the game. But here is the paradox. Why is this stillness so rare? Why does it feel like a physical weight in your chest when you try to stay silent during a tense moment? It is because silence feels like a small death. To be silent is to stop projecting yourself onto the world. It is to accept, for a moment, that you might be judged, misunderstood, or ignored. Most of us are so afraid of this social non-existence that we would rather be loud and disrespected than quiet and ignored. We build our identities out of the noise we make. That the noise is exactly what makes us appear small. You have been told that you need to find your voice. But what if you need to find your silence? What if the most radical thing you could do for your dignity is to stop defending it? When a mountain is hit by a storm, it does not argue with the wind. It does not try to prove its height. It simply remains. We have deconstructed the gravity of the silent self. We have seen how your nervous system can command a room without a single word. But as we sit in this newfound stillness, we must confront a deeper shadow. If you stop using your words to build your image, what happens to the person you thought you were? If you achieve this high-status stillness, you will find that the world looks at you differently. But the question is, can you look at yourself without the distraction of the noise? We have explored the physics of presence. Now we must explore the philosophy of the end. Because the ultimate weight of a man is not determined by how he stands in a room of his peers. It is determined by how he stands at the edge of his own mortality. The silence is growing heavier, and the most difficult lesson is still waiting in the dark. The dignity of the mortal. Respect as an echo of the end. There is a terrifying kind of beauty in a flame that knows it is about to go out. It doesn't flicker to impress the shadows. It simply burns with everything it has. In the ancient samurai text, the Hagakure, there is a radical instruction. The way of the samurai is found in death. This was not a call to literal suicide, but a psychological liberation. To live as if you are already dead is to become untouchable. If you have already accepted your end, what is left for anyone to take from you? We spend our lives in a desperate, frantic dance of social survival. We are so afraid of being forgotten, so terrified of being misunderstood or cast out, that we become small. We become needy. We laugh at jokes that aren't funny and apologize for truth that don't need defending. This neediness is a scent that others can smell. It is the opposite of respect. It is the sound of a person begging the world to tell them they exist. But when you stop begging, Albert Camus suggested that the only way to deal an unfree world is to be absolutely free, that your very existence is an act of rebellion. This freedom begins at the edge of the grave. When you truly internalize your mortality, not as a dark thought, but as a living reality, your social masks begin to melt. Why would you wear a mask for people who, like you, will be dust in a blink of cosmic time? This is the dignity of the final morning. Imagine that every conversation you have today is the last time your voice will ever be heard. Would you still be nodding along out of politeness? Would you still be hiding your true thoughts to avoid a moment of awkwardness? When you treat an encounter as if it were your last, a strange and magnetic calm settles over you. You stop trying to be respected. You stop trying to be powerful. In that release of effort, an authentic, unshakable presence emerges. It is the dignity of a person who has nowhere else to go and nothing left to prove. Others cannot help but honor this. They sense that you are anchored in something much deeper than the temporary hierarchies of men. You are anchored in the absolute, but this is the paradox. We think that by focusing on death, we lose our joy. In reality, we lose our chains. The fear of death is the ultimate leash. It allows the world to pull you in any direction it chooses. But the person who has made peace with the end is a person who cannot be led. They possess a high-status stillness that isn't a performance. It is a byproduct of their freedom. Can you feel the weight of this freedom? It is heavy. It is lonely. It demands that you stand alone in the cold light of your own finitude. Most people will never achieve this. They will continue to fill the silence with noise, hoping that the noise will keep the darkness at bay. They will keep chasing respect as if it were a currency they could spend to buy more time. But you have seen the anatomy of the silent self. You have understood that the most respected version of you is the one that doesn't need to be seen at all. The video is coming to an end. The silence is returning. And as the screen goes dark, you are left with the only thing that has ever mattered. Not the words you said, not the respect you gathered, but the quality of your presence in this very moment. The masks are gone. The room is quiet. Now, look into the mirror. Do you recognize the person standing there? Or is it time to finally meet them for the first time?